Welcome to Be Happy, Feel Great, where we bring in the experts to help you with your own personal development. I have a very special show today. You might remember one of my guests from a couple of months ago, Dr. Russ Lahamadou, and it was such a popular show and we had such a tremendous response. Russ is back today with Karen Mays Lahamadou. And it's really, I Love You to Health is the name of the show, and it's just going to be such a great show today, and you're going to like this more than ever. Okay, Russ, thank you so much for joining me. Okay, we really did. We had such a great response. I had more people say such wonderful things, and they wanted you back. So that means you were a good guest. Karen, it's such a pleasure. Now we're going to have the most popular show ever with you joining Russ here. You know, this is great, and I love it. I Love You to Health. What just a great title for a show, but it's your program, so it wasn't hard for me to get that. You know?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting to us because what we started to learn is that when couples are not on the same page with regard to their health and their wellness, there's some tensions, and they're starting to develop a lot of research around this area. It's called mixed weight couples. So when couples are of different weights, one is healthy weight and one is overweight, they found that there's a tremendous amount of conflict in the relationship, which was interesting.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And it's kind of, both Karen and I have experiences in relationships like this, and what we started to realize is that there are ways to help people resolve some of these conflicts and make the relationships better. And that's what I Love You to Health is all about. It's about helping couples finally get on the same page about issues, about health and wellness, and become healthier together. So we work with mixed weight couples to teach them what it would take to help one another do what they need to do to lose weight and get healthy.
You know, it's amazing. It's just such a great concept, and I don't know of anybody else that's doing that. I haven't heard of too many people that are focusing on what you guys are.
I actually was doing some research on it because I was looking for help at one point in my former marriage, and I was unable to find anything out there, and still to this day it's hard to find any information out there to help couples who are in this kind of a relationship of a mixed weight couple.
You know, the funny thing is that the weight is just a symptom of a problem. The deeper issue is that the couple has vastly different ideas about health and wellness. And what that means is that there are fundamental differences in how they operate as people, completely different directions in life. And that's where the tension really develops. The weight is just what you see. The part that you don't see is that, let's say the healthier person, think about what a healthy person eats at a restaurant. Now, let's say that somebody had vastly different ideas. How are they going to relate when they go out to eat?
Absolutely.
What about,
sure.
What
or
about
eating habits at home? You know,
eating habits
how do you
at home?
shop? What do you buy? What's in the fridge? And how does that influence the other person? You know, sometimes if it's there, even though you don't want it,
it's huge.
It's tempting.
It's huge. So the first issue is about basic decisions. You know, what are we going to eat? What are we going to cook? And the other issue is, how are you influencing me? If I want to be healthy and you don't, how is that influence changing me? Because here's a basic principle about relationship science. The influence that you have on your partner is inevitable. It's inevitable. You can't separate yourself from the relationship. It will affect you. You've experienced this as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So for the healthier person, their lifestyle is in jeopardy. And for the unhealthy person, maybe they don't want to deal with this. Maybe that's
they're still happy to sit on the couch, watch the Cooking Network or some of the other shows that are out there. Mm-hmm. You want to get out, you want to make changes, you want to do things, and you're looking for, I guess, that partner to be with you. And
sure.
There's a void after that if they're not joining.
Well, what ends up happening is that the one person who wants to be more active is going out there doing it all alone, while the other person is staying home. So then you end up living these parallel lives. You know, you're not a
Sure.
couple anymore.
Sure, and you'll just drift further and further apart, I guess, right?
And then one day you'll wake up and realize that you're technically divorced in place. So that you're living in the same house, but it doesn't really resemble a relationship. And I don't think anybody stands there at the altar on their wedding day hoping for that day when they become, separate, but living in the same house. So this is a huge issue. This issue is central to keeping a relationship vital, and our relationships essentially define our happiness. If you're in a bad relationship or if you're in a neutral relationship, you're going to be unhappy.
Sure.
And
sure.
part of our work is not just to help couples get healthier, or not just to impose our views of health onto other people, but to help them create a relationship where they can both get happy and healthy and live longer, productive lives together. So it's a grand objective, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And it's wonderful, When I met Karen this morning, and knowing Russ for several years now, you guys are like you look so alive, and you look so happy, and it's like you're the perfect role model
Tell
for
the
what you're
story
doing.
of our engagement. How did that go?
Well, being the active couple that we are, Russ decided that we were going to go for a hike up on Mount Washington
It's the
in New
tallest
Hampshire.
mountain in the Northeast.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
so 7 hours later, we make it to the top of the mountain, and that's where he
And
proposes.
I got down on one knee and I gave her the ring in the fog and the rain at the top of Mount Washington. Everybody asked me, what would happen if she didn't, make it all the way to the top? What if she gave up?
Yeah.
My only answer was, plan B. And I was going to the top. There might have been a girl there. Who
Who
knew?
knows? I might have a different guest on the show today.
Exactly.
One of the things.
What a great story.
Oh yeah. And we do all sorts of awesome things together. Things that I wouldn't have been able to dream of before. We go stand-up paddleboarding together. We go kayaking together. We go rock climbing together. Climb mountains. We take hikes. We go on our bikes together. I mean, just life has gotten so much bigger. And that's one of the things we teach at Lose Weight for Good, which was your last show that you had me on, is that the only way you can keep your smaller body is to live a bigger life. So when these couples have this huge difference in values when it comes to health and wellness, what do you think is going to happen when they go on vacation? One's going to want to go to a casino and sit in front of a slot machine, and the other is going to want to go explore the desert or explore the ocean or whatever it is. The word explore is going to be in their plan.
Right.
So now you're going to take two separate vacations. And
Yeah, and that vacation is what everybody looks forward to.
that's what brings you together.
That is, and if you live in this two separate lives, as you say, it's going to be miserable. It's going to be either you don't see each other and you're doing it separately, or when you get together, you're probably going to have disagreements. You're going to argue about things. I want to go eat dinner right now, and no, I want to go out and do more exploring.
Sure.
I had a little snack. That's good for me.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I climbed this mountain today, and there's this other place I want to go, and I'm going to just bring my power bars and do it, because food is not central in my life. My experiences are central in my life.
Yeah. I think at this point, it's worth it to say, we have a photo of Russ, you, 10 years ago or so.
Oh, do you really?
I think people have to understand a little bit, because you guys, you're in front of me, you look like you're so healthy, and it wasn't always like that.
Well, not for me.
I snuck this one in, Karen. I'm sorry I didn't go research it a little bit further back, but after having Russ on the first show, here it is, right up on the screen, okay? Russ, just tell us about that. That's you.
Well, that's me holding a picture of me. And,
It doesn't even look like you. I guess you didn't have a beard back then.
That's it. That's the whole difference. It's amazing what a little facial hair will do for you. It thins out everything. That picture was probably taken more like 12 years ago, and it was on a cruise, and I was there to do what you do on cruises. The buffets were awesome, and I sat around and I ate and I, just stayed on the boat. It's funny because just a few years ago, I went on another cruise in the Mediterranean, and then it was all about hiking through Croatia and taking a look at the, the ancient cities and finding new unexplored places. And, we hit Greece and Turkey, but it was all about move, move, move. I got to see more of the world on that cruise than compared with the other one where it was really just the boat and the buffet. So I moved from a boat buffet lifestyle to a explore adventure
Usually
lifestyle.
the cruise is the boat, the buffet, and then the cocktails people have.
Right. Well, I'm not a big drinker, so really
you
I
did the
doubled the
cocktail.
buffet. Yeah. I just
We saw that.
two
yeah.
trips on the buffet, no cocktails necessary. But now, so it changes your whole fundamental being. It changes everything you do. And if your partner's along with you, then it's a great life. And if your partner's not along with you, it can still be an okay life. But when you're together, the life is going to be different. I mean, there are people who are perfectly happy to go off and do their own thing.
Yeah, but they're not, the couples a lot of times that aren't close, and you guys just seem like you're just radiating with loving to do things together, and you enjoy the same
We
hobbies
work on
and
that every
interests.
day. It doesn't
Okay,
just
it
come
doesn't come easy.
natural.
Okay.
It does take work, and that's one of the things we do talk with couples about also, is that it's not just like a magic wand and you live happily ever after. It does take a lot of work and commitment to each other, and that's what we work on.
And that's another principle that's important to realize, is that if you want to have a happy relationship, you have to recognize the long-term commitment of it and be willing to work on it. The way we look at life and our relationship is that it's like this great puzzle, and we're trying to figure it out. Every day we get these pieces, and we have to figure out how they meet.
Oh, and it's so exciting when you get the pieces to come together.
And what's really cool is that every day the whole thing gets thrown up and you have to put all the pieces back together again.
Yeah, right.
So we never get bored. And that's one of the reasons we love working with couples, is because it's like three-dimensional chess, because you have your personal issues, she has her personal issues, and then you come together. And all of a sudden, I'm spending my time in the pursuit of trying to figure her out while I'm still trying to figure myself out. And that's where it really gets interesting. But as long as you know that game is afoot, then it's easier to play. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely.
And each day has its challenges in
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
But you guys, besides your own relationship, you're helping other people with theirs. And that's the whole exciting
Yeah.
part of I Love You to Help.
You know, the interesting, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I was going to say that, we both have been through divorce, and one of the things with I Love You to Health is that we don't want to see people end up going through divorce just because of a weight issue. So that's our primary premise, is really helping couples who are on this unhealthy page and want to just rework their relationship and get healthy together and live a happier lifestyle.
The thing is this is a big issue. And anyone who's ever tried to lose weight and get healthy knows it's really hard to do. Now imagine if you could create a relationship where you could actually team up and tackle this incredibly difficult thing together. Would that make you stronger, or would it make the relationship less strong? What do you think?
Oh, of course, it would make it very strong.
Stronger, right. Now,
And,
do you think you would end up as better parents after going through that experience, or worse parents?
Absolutely better.
Better. Do you think you'd be able to manage your finances better, or do you think you'd be worse at managing your finances?
It would clear cut, make it better also.
Here's our grand objective: to rule the world. If we can help couples get healthier together, and then that will help them become better parents and help them manage their finances better, they'll be better members of the community. There'll be stronger families, stronger communities, and essentially the whole system, our whole system, will grow stronger, simply because we helped couples learn the skills necessary to do something really, really difficult together. It's an amazing, amazing work we do, I think. What do you say?
Absolutely.
Oh, it's something that's so needed out there for people. How do they find out about you, though?
Well, we have a website. This
Okay.
new internet thing, we love it.
Yeah.
So you can just go to iloveyoutohealth.com.
iloveyoutohealth.com.
Sure.
And there's, I know you're big with video and getting in front of the camera. You guys are naturals here today. I've also listened to some of your radio spots.
We
that
do a
you
lot
have.
of
You do
audio.
a lot of audio,
Yeah.
and You know,
You
talk
know-
together, you complement each other so nicely. And this is all on your website, ILoveYouToHealth.com.
Yeah, well, a lot of the radio stuff, especially with Karen and I, is on Lose Weight for Good as well. Because
Okay,
a lot of our work starts out with the weight loss piece.
Yep.
And what's interesting to us is that mixed weight couples can be the same weight because it really isn't about the weight. Remember what I was saying is that the weight is just a symptom. The underlying issue is the direction you're going in your life. So if one person in the relationship decides to lose weight and get healthy and does everything they need to do that, to change their life, and the other one doesn't, they're in a mixed weight relationship even though they're both overweight. So sometimes it starts right there at the Lose Weight for Good, in our Lose Weight for Good office. And then we end up working with the couples in I Love You to Health. In fact, that's most often how couples engage us, through Lose Weight for Good.
Okay.
So, but they can go to either site. They can go to ILoveYouToHealth.com, or they can go to LoseWeightForGood.org.
And if you remember, we had Russ on an earlier show, and that's what we talked about,
Yeah.
was Lose Weight for Good. And you could go back to YouTube, or sure, after this, people are going to want to see it again, and we'll have it on TV shows that we do and everything, on Be Happy, Feel Great. But it's, you know, I think we have some pictures of both of you, and you know, sharing some things together. If I remember, there was a photo of a kayak, you know, you guys with the kayaks.
On the truck?
Oh, and
Right.
my Jeep.
On the Jeep, on the beach, and
If you're going to live a life like we do, you kind of have to have four-wheel drive.
okay, and just hanging out together. And again, you know, and these were back before you guys even got married. You know,
Yeah.
this was back during the dating period, and you're, as I said, you just radiate of happiness, and the photo showed it to everybody. And you know, kayak, and I know that's one of the activities that both of you like to do. You mentioned that before, and you know, you're
Well, as many people know, I kayaked the circumference of Long Island. And
right.
although
We talked
Karen-
about that on the first show. and
Although
everything.
Karen didn't go in the boat with me, she was my shore support. And again, without her, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And that's the way most of my life goes now, you know. Now, let me ask you a question, Karen. How would you say things are different now in your life than they were, let's say, 10 years ago?
I didn't have the life that I wanted. I actually became more sedentary because that's the way my husband was. Even though I wanted to be out camping and doing fun activities, I didn't want to do it alone. And since Russ and I have been together, I get to do the great things that I always wanted to do. You know, tent camping and kayaking,
Sometimes
sailing.
you have to be careful what you wish
I know.
I know you guys have been going on some great trips
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
things like that.
We took two couples on a 53-foot sailing yacht, because I'm also a sailing instructor and a captain.
Okay.
So we took two couples on a 53-foot yacht out of Florida, and we actually taught them how to sail, but the subtext of the entire trip was helping them work on their relationship.
Wow.
And
It was an amazing weekend.
yeah, well, the funny thing is, you know, Karen was my first mate on the boat, so
Okay.
so we shared teaching responsibilities. The couples were amazed. At the end of the trip, I kind of let it leak that I had only just taught Karen how to sail the summer before. So we were working together so well that they thought that Karen had been sailing all her life.
All her life, yeah.
And it was the nature of our relationship, it was the dynamic of how we worked together that made that seem so real.
You're also a great teacher.
Look at that. Next thing, you guys are going to be holding hands and here. You keep getting close.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what's
Can't we get a love seat or something?
Oh, we got to get that in for the next time we have you guys back, and I'm sure we're going to have you back again, because it's just a great show and great stuff that you're doing, and it's needed. And people that are watching it, whether it's for yourself or if it's for a friend of theirs or somebody else that they know, a relative, you know, I think they should visit your website. And it's, in fact, it's, you know, we've been putting the website on the bottom of the page, you know, so people could see. Make sure you write it down. And I love like the photos that we showed, and you know, the videos that you've been doing, and it's just, it's great that you guys have this program, and I can't believe everybody else is off base with the way they do it. You know, they just seem to do diet, 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 you know, and we all know that doesn't work. Even the
Right.
word diet itself is,
Die.
yeah,
And we talked a lot about that in the last show I was in, and how we kind of break it down into a sort of a holistic approach to changing your life. And a huge part of the Lose Weight for Good philosophy is that your social influences are a huge factor. And the most important social influence in your life is the closest relationship in your life. And what do you think that is? It's the relationship that you have with the person that you wake up next to every morning, whoever that is. For some people, it's a golden retriever, but for me, it's Karen.
some people it's 3 golden.
Yeah, especially here on the East End. Lots of big dog people, right?
Yeah, you know, we've been talking, and I have to admire your necklace.
Oh, thank you. Russ actually had this made for me. It's our logo for Valentine's Day a couple of years ago. And I
Really? Is
wear
there a
it
way,
all
can
the
we get a little
time.
close-up of Karen's necklace, maybe? I don't know if we can. We're going to try. You know, if we could just, oh, look at that. Yes, that's beautiful. So Russ made it for you for Valentine's
Yeah.
Day, and it's your logo. I'm thinking, boy, that looks awfully familiar. I was hoping it was, you know, when we did it. Russ, we know yours isn't your logo, but
No, mine is
I
not.
like that too.
Well,
that's more in Hawaii and.
Well, you know, it's funny. There is a story behind that as well. Karen gave this to me when I did my kayak trip because it is designed to keep you safe at sea. So this is it comes from the New Zealand, I believe, and it's designed to just keep you safe. And it must be working because I'm still here and I spend a lot of time at sea.
Yeah.
So look at that. This is really, again, very romantic, you know?
Oh yeah, we're full of it. I mean,
But back to your, the necklace with the logo, you know, that's,
When Russ had it made, he was the company that was making it was sending him pictures, and we posted it on our Facebook page, and people were actually asking if they could purchase it, and I was like, no.
yeah, I'm like, wow, we could sell these. She's like, you're not. No, this is
No,
mine.
this is
One
mine.
of a kind.
one of a kind.
And
That makes it extra.
a lot of people, even when she wears it out, no matter where we travel, they're like, wow, where did you get that? We love to have that because it's such an interesting design from the fact that here are these people clearly engaged in a dance, and they're obviously active, they're obviously healthy, but it's the tension of them kind of pulling away that creates the heart in the relationship. So, you know, if the relationship had no tension at all, had nothing to work on, then it wouldn't be much fun. And that's part of our philosophy in life, is that the issues, the things, the puzzles that come up, that's what makes life interesting. That's what makes life fun. They're going to come up anyway.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to look at them like they're fun and interesting, then you're probably going to be miserable.
And and bored.
And bored.
Totally bored, too. Yeah, yeah.
So from a deeper philosophical level, if you look at the logo, you can kind of see how it really does encapsulate the virtue of a healthy relationship in every aspect. Not only are the figures ostensibly healthy and they're moving and you can see how there's some motion there, but there's a certain amount of tension in that relationship, but you can see they're still all about the love and joy in the relationship.
Beautiful. Very nice. And even though our viewers can't get a necklace like this, it's one of a kind.
No, have
But
them talk
they-
to me on the side.
They could go to your website and they could actually see it with a little bit more color to it,
Yeah.
too, you know? So you can share it and you can see this logo a little bit more. I think that our viewers, a lot of people that are watching this are going to be very interested. I heard you mention Facebook before.
Oh gosh, we have almost 68,000 people on our Facebook page.
Wait, 68,000?
Yeah, apparently it's a very popular topic.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's, I don't think I ever heard anybody having that much unless you were like one of the super gurus out there, but I guess you are. You guys are the super gurus now of these relationships, you know? Oh, that's wonderful.
I just think it's a topic that people don't know where to get information from, so that's why they're drawn to it.
Yeah,
The type of people who would come to us are someone who is really concerned about the health and well-being of their significant other. So it would be the healthier, so to speak, in the mixed weight relationship. The other one is, I'm trying to lose weight and my spouse is sabotaging me. We hear that so much because they're in a mixed weight relationship, but they're the same weight still. So this person's trying real hard to lose weight, and this other person is like, I want things to stay the way they are, and I want us to stay the way they are.
Sure.
And they start subtly, right? And the other person that we hear from is the person who's trying to get healthy. Sometimes they get hypercritical of the other partner, and that doesn't work either. So we have like 3 different types of people who come to us for help.
Well, when you say people come to you for help now, are you coaching them? Is it through your website? Is it personally coaching?
Our Lose Weight for Good website is an entire program. We have a community group and people come on, it's a private Facebook group, people come on and they interact with one another, they interact with us, we have weekly calls. And then in addition to that, we have entire audio programs laid out that people can listen to while they're driving to work. And that's all about the lose weight, get healthier kind of philosophies that we teach.
Okay.
When couples come to us, that's almost entirely coaching at this point. And we also have a private Facebook group for those people so they can interact together. But we are now developing the same kind of program that we have for Lose Weight for Good for I Love You to Health as well. So that people will be able to get these resources that we've developed over the years right onto their smartphone. Because most of our stuff is audio, mainly because
audio,
people tell me I have a face for radio. So.
I know, we... I know we have to kind of wrap this up a little bit. I would like you guys to, in the future, have you back again because there's so much to talk about. And I want to find out how I could go on one of those sailing trips,
Well, that's easy. Yeah, just send us an email. We'll hook you up. That's not a problem.
Okay, that sounds great. It seems like you do so many wonderful things out there. And the best part is you're helping people. You're helping relationships, and you're helping them between their health, emotionally, and in all the other ways that you were saying. And I just want to thank you so much for being on the show and sharing your wisdom with everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. It was great. You guys were just great.